Morning, everybody. So I promised a few of you that are attending my Lakeside Yoga Retreat a beginner's yoga, because there's quite a few of you who actually haven't done yoga before, which is amazing that you're kind of leaping in and joining me on this retreat. So here is a beginner's guide to your basic moves in yoga for you to just get familiar with beforehand. And obviously I then encourage you, once you've got familiar with these, to kind of look at some other videos and progress your practice once you're familiar with the basics. So we're going to start off just in a child pose. So just bringing yourself down onto your mat. Traditionally, we take our knees wide, pelvis towards the heels, and reach those arms out in front of you, dropping the forehead down. Trying to activate and reach through those fingers to lengthen through, both into the arms, the shoulders, slowly lowering the chest down, pushing the pelvis back towards those heels. Gently grounding down the breath here. Think about controlling the inhale and the exhale. And we use the breath in our yoga practice to gently ground down and keep us anchored to our practice, helping us create space as well as attention to our moves. From here, gently lift the forehead and walk those hands over to the left. Either palm side by side, or you can press that right palm on top of the left and draw that right sit bone down towards the right heel, lengthening through the right side body. Activating through those hands to draw the sit bone further back. Gently lift the forehead, walk those hands via the center and take them over to the opposite side. With that same option to place the hand next to one and the other or directly on top. Drawing that sit bone down towards the heel to lengthen through the left side. Keep the connection to the breath. Feel the ribcage expand with every inhale. Maybe deepen the body with every exhale. Slowly lift the forehead, walk those hands back through center and just take one full round of breath here with the spine realigned. Deep inhale in. Long exhale out. Ground down through those hands. Slowly lift yourself up into your tabletop position. So from here, we want our wrists under shoulders, knees underneath those hips. Have one nice long spine to start with. I'm going to move into our cat-cows here. So the movement always comes from the base of the spine all the way up to the shoulders. So gently start to tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly, drop the chest, start to squeeze the shoulder blades together as you draw the heart through the shoulders, lift the gaze. This is our inhale. As you exhale, start to tilt the tailbone under, draw the belly up towards the spine, chin to chest as you protract through the shoulder blades. So we're finding space through the shoulder blades. Gaze towards your thighs or your navel. Exhale. Inhale, start to tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly, drop the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift high. Exhale, tilt the tailbone under, belly to spine, protract those shoulder blades, chin to chest, exhale. Let's do 3 more rounds just like that. Inhale, start to drop the belly, lift the gaze, find your cow pose. Exhale, tilt the tailbone, belly to spine, chin to chest, cat pose. Exhale. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, cat pose, tilt that tailbone all the way under, push into those hands, chin to chest. 1 more round, just like that. Inhale, start to drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale into your cat pose. From here, come into your neutral spine. Let's move into a little bit of core work, which you'll often see in a yoga class. We're going to come into our bird dog here. So extend the right leg out, draw the belly in, engage the core. See if you can lift that right leg up. Find balance here and extend that left arm out. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, elbow to knee, see if you can draw it in together. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, draw it in. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lengthen all the way out. And then exhale, return tabletop position. Taking that onto the other side. Extend that left leg. Engage through the core. We draw our lower ribs in towards the hips, so you start to engage through those important muscles that support not just the front but the back body as well. See if you can lift that left leg. Reach the right arm forward. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, elbow to knee, draw in for that crunch. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen all the way out. And then slowly return tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees underneath those hips. From here, we're going to thread our needle. So we're going to inhale, reach that left arm all the way up. And the left arm is threading underneath the right. So left shoulder, left cheek comes down. We keep our hips stacked over the knees. And we're pushing into that right hand with the elbow bent to rotate that right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Trying to keep your hips still square to the mat. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Deep inhale. And exhale. Push into that right hand. Inhale, reach that left arm all the way up to sky. Find a little twist. And then slowly return it back down. And right hand reaches all the way up. And taking that right hand underneath that left shoulder, right cheek comes down. So you're able to see the hand variation a little bit easier on this side. My left elbow is bent. I'm pushing into that left hand to rotate that shoulder up towards the ceiling while maintaining my hips square to the mat. You can also activate through that back lower hand on this side as our right to really start to open out through the outer right shoulder as well. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Push strongly into that left hand. Inhale, reach that right hand up to sky. Slowly returning the right hand down into your tabletop position. Now from here, we're going to tuck our toes under. We're preparing for our downward dog. With downward dog, often we see that people are trying to get their heels down towards the mat, legs lengthened as much as possible. But actually our downward dog is all about the upper body. So as you lift the knees up and back, keep a generous bend in those knees for now. Keep those hands shoulder distance. Push into the hands generously as you draw the chest towards the thighs. Think about dropping the shoulders down and around the rib cage so you lengthen through the side body. So as you can see here, my tailbone is lifted, my spine is nice and long. The crown of the head is relaxed. My legs are still bent, my heels are still lifted. Now, if you can maintain that upper body, that is only the time we then start to lengthen through those legs and start to lower those heels down. Often what we see is those heels start to get down, so this starts to happen. You start to round forward more in a plank position. And the downward dog is actually all about the upper body. So just think about maintaining that long, nice, long spine, pushing the chest towards those thighs, whether those legs are bent or extended, doesn't really matter. It's finding that openness through the shoulders, lengthening through the spine rather than rounding into it. Take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Inhale, start to lift the gaze to the top of the mat, lift those heels. Now you're going to take as many steps as you can to walk those feet to the top of your mat. From here, your feet will be hip distance. We're going to come to a halfway lift. So hands will come to thighs or shins. Push the sit bone back towards the back of the room. Gaze is slightly forward, and again, drop those shoulders away from the ears. You're pushing them towards the back of the room to lengthen through the side. This is our halfway lift. You're almost imagining just a really flat back that you can balance something on, a plate, a cup, whatever it may be. Again, often we kind of see this rounding here, but you're elevating that chest forward, pushing that sit bone back. Take a full breath in as you lengthen. And then as you exhale, this is where we start to round a little bit. We bend into those knees, release the hands, chest comes down towards the thighs, and the crown of the head drops into our forward fold. Ground down gently now through the feet, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, slowly reach all the way up, hands lift. And then exhale, hands through to your heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose, hands by your side. So we're going to move through a sun salutation now. We'll do it nice and slowly, and we'll do the modified version. Inhale, reach those hands all the way up. As you exhale, hands come through the heart space, hinging all the way down back into that fold. So remember, you can bend into those knees, chest draws down towards the thighs, crown of the head drops, release the hands. Inhale, hands slide now to thighs or shins as you lengthen, extend that spine into your halfway lift. We gaze slightly forward. Now as you exhale, a little bend into those knees to ground those hands down onto your mat. Step one foot back, then the other into your high plank. I like to hold the high plank when we first visit it, so you start to feel that engagement through the core. Push the heels away. Draw the belly up towards the spine. Look slightly ahead. Now we're going to keep that engagement here. Lower the knees down. Shift the shoulders past the wrists. Elbows draw back towards the ribs as you lower the chest all the way down onto your belly. We're coming into our cobra pose. You're going to push into the hands, push into the top of the feet slightly, engage the glutes, lift the chest, drop the shoulders down the back, inhale. As you exhale, push into the hands, tabletop position, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Remember, maybe we keep them bent as we come into our downward facing dog. Taking 3 full breaths here. Think about that length through the spine. Think about lifting those shoulders away from the ears. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. One more breath. Lift the heels, gaze to the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need to walk it through. Inhale, hands to thighs or shins, lengthen halfway left. Exhale, forward fold, little bend into those knees, chest down to the thighs, drop the crown of the head all the way down. Inhale, root to rise, grounding down through those feet. As the shoulders step the pelvis, reach those hands all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, hands through to the heart space, Tadasana, hands by your side, mountain pose. We'll do that one more time with Sun A variation. Inhale, reach those hands all the way up. Exhale, hinging at those hips, take it all the way down into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen that spine, hands to thighs or shins. Look slightly ahead, lengthen through. Exhale, place the hands, sit back into that high plank. Start to find your engagement here. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, shift the shoulders past the wrists, lower all the way down onto your belly in one nice long line. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the shoulders down the back, cobra pose. Exhale, push back into your tabletop, tuck those toes, lift those hips, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Deep inhale and long exhale. Breathe it in and let it go. Lift those heels, gaze to the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need to walk it through. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, hands to thighs or shins. Exhale, forward fold, release crown of the head down. Inhale, root to rise, stack the shoulders over the pelvis, reach those hands all the way up. Exhale, hands through to the heart space, Tadasana, mountain pose. So there are Sun A variations. We will now move into a Sun B, adding in chair pose and warrior one. So in chair pose, your feet can be either together, or we can have our feet hip distance, whichever you prefer, whichever you feel more stable. We're going to bend into the hips, into the knees. And as you do so, you want to scrape your fingers onto the mat. That tells you you're in the right point to then reach those hands all the way up. Biceps towards the ears. We maybe gaze between the hands, weight into the heels, light through the toes. Take a full breath in. Full breath out, forward fold. Inhale, hands to thighs or shins, lengthen. Exhale, place those hands, step back into that high plank. Find that engagement here, inhale. Exhale, lower the knees all the way down onto your belly. We call that a chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale, push back, tabletop, lift up, downward facing dog. This is where we add on in our sun B. I'm going to lift that right leg up. We're going to come into warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Right foot steps to right thumb. Take as many steps as you need to. Maybe use that hand to help it get there. Your feet are staying in train trap positions. And you're going to turn that left heel in 45 degrees. Once you're grounded, reach those hands all the way up. Soften those shoulders down the back. So from this angle, right toes face to the top of the mat. Those left toes are turning at 45 degrees. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward, so you start to feel that stretch in that front left leg. Soften the shoulders, maybe lift the gaze. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, frame that front foot, step back into that high plank, engage the core, lower the knees, shift the shoulders past the wrists, lower through your half chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra pose. Exhale, tuck the toes, tabletop, lift up, down and back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, left leg rises. Left foot steps to left thumb. Keep those legs parallel, turn that right heel in 45 degrees. Find your grounding, reach those hands all the way up. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Soften those shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe gaze up between the hands. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step back into that high plank. Engage, lower the knees. Shift the shoulders past the wrists, elbows come back towards the ribs, lower down in one nice long line. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, tabletop, tuck those toes, lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in here. And a full breath out. Deep inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. And let it go. Lift those heels, gaze to the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need to walk it through. Inhale to your halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now this time you're going to keep the bend in the knees into the hips and coming back into chair pose. Reach those hands all the way up. Heavy through the heels, light through the toes. Take a full breath in. Full breath out, hands to your heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. That is our Sun B variation. Okay, so we're going to look into our basic yoga poses now. Inhale, reach those hands all the way up. Hinge into those hips. Exhale, take it all the way down into your fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Place those hands, step back, high plank. Find that engagement, inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, work through your half chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra. Exhale, push back by a tabletop. Lift up, downward facing dog. Take that full breath in. And full breath out. So we've looked at our warrior one. We're going to look at warrior two now. Right leg's going to lift first. And we're stepping that right foot to right thumb. Try to keep that left heel lifted this time. We're coming into a high lunge. Always the option to bring that heel down. But high lunge is an easier transition into our warrior two. So our legs are still train tracked for now. Take a full breath in. Now this is where we transition into our warrior two. Right foot's going to stay where it is, but you're going to drop the left heel down. Now these mats are really good because you can see the alignment. That right heel is going to track your left arch here. You're going to bend into that right knee, so the right knee is over the ankle, and the arms come down in line with the shoulders. Shoulders stay stacked over the pelvis, and you're rotating the hips open. Take a full breath in, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Full breath out. Deep inhale, and exhale. We're going to flip that front palm, reach the body forward so you find extension through the right side, and then drop the left hand down the left leg, reach it all the way up and back into your reverse warrior. Keep bending into that front knee, drop the left shoulder down and away from the ear, lengthening through the right side. Take a full breath in. Full breath out, we're going to keep the length through the right side. Right forearm is going to come down onto the right thigh, and the left arm is either stacking the shoulder, or we drop the palm of the hand, bicep to ear, into our Parshvakonasana, right angle pose. Lift up out of the shoulders, lengthen through the body. You're trying to rotate the left shoulder back to open out through the chest. There are some add-ons to this pose, but we'll stay with the modification version for now. This is the one you're most likely to see in class. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. From here, we're going to move into our reverse triangles. We're going to take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to lift the chest away from that right leg. Start to extend the right leg, squeeze the inner thighs. Left hand's coming down the left leg, and the right arm's going to reach up and back, but super straight. Palm of the hand to the back of the room. Think about finding a nice long line all the way down through that right side. Squeezing those inner thighs, join all your bandhas up. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Into our Trikonasana triangle pose. Keep squeezing those inner thighs, lengthen the body. Keep that right hip pulling back. And your right hand is coming down over the right leg. Now either right hand to thigh or shin. Left hand is going to reach up to the ceiling. Now we're trying to keep ourselves in a nice long line. What often happens here is people are desperate to get their hand more here, and they start to lean forward. It doesn't matter where that right hand is, it's all about this upper body and your whole body being in one nice long line. So if we're here, that's absolutely fine. Squeeze those inner thighs, hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. We're going to gaze towards the top of the mat, bend into that right knee. Now you can take a block if you wish, or right hand to the top right corner. We're going to come into our half moon. So that left hip now starts to stack the right. You push the heel away, open out through the chest. Once you're nice and balanced, you can reach that left hand up. Running out of room here. Hold for 3, for 2. And then we're going to come into our standing split. Again, blocks are always available to you. Left hand will come down onto block or mat, and then you're going to close that left hip down. Lift that left leg, squeeze the left glute, draw the crown of the head down, forehead towards the right shin. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Start to lift the chest. Bring that left foot down next to the right. Lift hands to thighs or shins, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Circle those arms all the way up. Exhale, hands through to your heart space. Mountain pose. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Let's take that on to the other side. Inhale, we'll reach those hands all the way up. Exhale, hinge out those hips, take it down into your fold. Inhale, hands to thighs or shins, lengthen the chest. Exhale, place those hands, step back into your high plank. Find that engagement, inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, shift the shoulders past the wrists, lower down through your half chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend, cobra pose. Exhale, push back, tabletop, lift up, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Let's take that on to the left side. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Stepping that left foot to left thumb. Finding your grounding first. Keep that right heel lifted if you can. Reach those hands all the way up, high lunge. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, left foot stays as it is, right heel drops. We open those arms all the way out into our warrior two. Think about opening out through those hips, opening out through that left knee so it stacks the ankle. Soften those shoulders, gaze over those left fingertips. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, flip that front palm. Right hand slides down the right leg, left knee stays bent as you come into your reverse warrior. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale. Exhale, left forearm to left eye, keep the length through the left side. Right hand either stacks the shoulder or bicep to ear. Lengthen into your Parashvakonasana, your right angle pose. Soften out of those shoulders, rotate the right shoulder back. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Breathe it in, we're coming into our reverse triangle. Activate through the legs, right hand slides down the right leg, extend through that left arm, squeeze those inner thighs, and lengthen through that left arm, back of the palm towards the back of the room. Take a full breath in, to the next one. Full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Trikonasana pose, we keep the legs as they are, squeeze those inner thighs, draw the left hip back, reach it forward, left hand stacks over that left thigh, left shin. The right shoulder stays stacked over that left. We're not leaning forward, you're almost leaning back. Lengthening through the chest. Hold it here for 3, for 2. Start to gaze now to that left top corner, either left hand to block or mat, soften into that left knee. Bring that left hand down. Bring the right hand to your hip so you'll really feel that opening through the right side. We're stacking shoulders, hip over the left side, and then push that right heel away, lengthen the crown of the head. When it feels good, maybe reach that right hand up. Hold it here for 3, half moon pose, for 2. And then we're going to close down that right side, right hand to block. Close that right hip down, lengthen. Lift that right leg up, crown of the head drops, standing split. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale to your halfway. Exhale, right foot comes down next to the left, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, circle those arms all the way up. Exhale, hands through to heart center, mountain pose, hands by your side, Tadasana. Look at standing balances now. The one you'll probably hear most of is Warrior 3 or Tree Pose. So we'll have a look at those. Warrior 3 first. So what I want you to do is stand strong on your right leg. Bring the hands to your heart space. Now, when you come into any sort of balance, it's really good just to find a focus point out in front of you. Not a person, not anything that will move. Otherwise, it's a bit like a Mexican wave. We all go everywhere. So either something high. People sometimes like to look at the top corner of a room. I actually prefer to look low, so I kind of find a spot on the ground. But whatever feels better for you. So find that drishti, your focus point. Bring the hands to your heart center. Stand strong on the right leg. And just start to shift the weight into the right. Slowly start to hinge forward, keeping that left hip closed. So we've just done half moon where the hip is open. With Warrior 3, the hip stays closed. So you're trying to keep a nice long line through the body. You're squeezing the glute up, lengthening forward. Hands at your heart center is a nice modified version. You can also bring the hands down onto blocks if you're feeling a bit wobbly at any point. Hold for 3, for 2, And then another pose you'll often see in my classes is stork pose. So the right leg stays grounded, the left knee draws up to chest. And then we'd lift the arms all the way up. Stork pose is usually a good entry point into another balance. So we'll use it here to come into our tree pose. Left leg will either come to ankle, shin or thigh. Maybe you need to use the hands to help you there. Push the foot into the thigh. Hands again can be at your heart center, or traditional tree pose, hands are up. Once you find that connection between foot and thigh, use that to rotate the hip open. Hold it here for 3, for 2. Gently release, left foot down. Hands by your side, mountain pose. Let's take that on to the other side. Stand strong on the left leg. Hands come up to your heart space. Think about shifting the weight. Lead the chest forward, extend the right leg back. Lengthen all the way up. Close the right hip down this time. Hold for 3, for 2. Slowly see if you can bring it up to that stork pose. So right knee comes to chest, maybe you reach the arms up. And then option here to bind your tree pose. Foot to ankle, shin. Maybe you help it up onto that thigh. Maybe the hands come down to your heart space. Maybe they start off there as you find your grounding, rotate the hip open, and then maybe you reach up. Hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Gently release, bring that right foot down. Keep the feet hip distance. I'm going to take a Peace grip, so your 2 first fingers and your thumb, and wrap them around your big toe. We're going to inhale, lengthen. So think about that halfway lift where you draw the shoulders away from the ears to the back of the room. Lengthen through the pelvis. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to bend into the knees to make space for that chest to make contact with the thighs. Take the elbows wide. Crown of the head drops. And we come into a fold. From here, shift the weight slightly forward to feel the length through the hamstring. And if you can keep the connection to that thigh, you can then start to lengthen the legs. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Deep inhale and exhale. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, release those hands. Slowly step those feet back, lower the knees down, and make your way into a seat. Let's find some seated postures now. So we'll come into a forward fold. Legs will come extended, toes are going to draw towards you. So we always keep those legs activated. Sit tall through the spine. Now everyone will have different space in this posture. So some people, they can reach the feet and they'll be chest to thigh all the way down. For some of us, we have tight hamstrings. So you can always keep bending the knees if that feels better. You can also only take this as far as it feels comfortable. So you want to keep the length through the spine, nice and long, shoulders down and away from the ears. Reach the hands up. And maybe you only come this far before you feel that limit in your hips. If that's the case, just bring those hands down wherever it feels comfortable, but keep your gaze towards those toes. Lengthening the shoulders away from the ears to keep that chest drawing forward. What we often see in a forward fold is people are desperate to get their head nearer to the legs. So what starts to happen is this, because they want to get as low down as possible. I always think forward fold isn't a great name because it's not actually about folding, it's about extending. So what I want you to do is think about extending the chest forward rather than trying to round down and then take hold where it feels comfortable. If you have the space and you want to take it deep and you can maintain that length through the spine, then we can take hold of the outer edges of the feet. You can take that Peace grip around the toes. Some people like to interlace their hands behind the feet as well. But what you do is keep that chest driving forward, gaze is forward. Pull the shoulders back to draw that chest a little bit more towards the top. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Slowly draw yourself up to a seat. Bring that left foot in. So we're bending into the left knee, but but you're keeping about 2 fists distance between that foot and the thigh. Reach the hands up, keep those right toes drawing towards you, keep the hips as they are and turn yourself to the left. Left hand is going to come behind and that right arm is going to wrap around that left thigh. We're lengthening through the spine, so again we're not rounding into this. Lift up out of the chest, push into that left hand to encourage the spine to strengthen and lengthen, and then rotate the left shoulder back, right shoulder forward to deepen into that twist. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. From here, drop the left knee down so the foot comes into that inner thigh. Reach the hands all the way up, take the inhale. And then as you exhale, keep extending the chest forward, same as we did in that fold. Take it as far as feels comfortable, hands to thighs, shin, ankle, maybe the foot. And then draw the chest down towards that leg, keeping that gaze towards those right toes. Breathe in, breathe out. Deep inhale and exhale. Slowly start to bring yourself all the way up. We're going to keep that left foot and bring the right foot in to meet. It's a Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. The closer your feet are to your pelvis, the more intense this is going to be. So just think about where you want those feet to be. If you have quite open hips, the closer you are, you might feel more of a stretch. If you have tight hips, have those feet more of a diamond shape. You can either take hold of the ankles or we can take that peace grip again around those big toes. Sit tall, soften the shoulders, take a full breath in. And keeping that length through the spine, hinging from those hips, leading with that chest, start to take it forward into your Baddha Konasana. The elbows may make contact with those shins, and if they do so, you can encourage them to draw the knees down a little bit more towards the mat. You can either stay high, you might be up here, it might look like this, or if you have the space, you can then take it all the way down. Hold it for 3, for 2. Slowly lift the chest. We're going to keep the right leg where it is and reverse that stretch out. So right foot to the left thigh, draw those left toes in, reach those hands up, soften the shoulders. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, reach forward, taking hold of the thigh, the shin, maybe the foot, gazing towards those toes. Slowly start to lift the chest. Help that right knee come up. Remember to have that gap between the foot and the thigh. Reach those hands all the way up, soften the shoulders. And then take that right hand behind, wrap that left arm around the right thigh and gaze over that right shoulder. Keep those left toes drawing in. Think about sitting tall out of the spine rather than rounding into that sit bone. Hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Gently return back through center and draw those knees in. So your feet are going to be hip distance. We're going to find our boat pose in Navasana. Lots of ways to modify this. So your first option, you can just bring those hands behind those thighs. And with your Navasana, your boat pose, you want to think about lifting out the chest. We sit back slightly so you feel that core engagement, and you can use those hands on the back of the thighs to support you. So we can stay here. We can lift those feet, keeping that maintaining shape through the chest, having those hands still to support you. You can stay here or reach those hands out completely, using that core to hold you. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2. Take the inhale. Exhale, bring those feet all the way down. Reach forward. And then one vertebrae at a time, slowly start to bring yourself all the way down onto your mat. As you arrive at the head and shoulders come down, reach those hands up and overhead, take a full body stretch. And then as you exhale, draw those knees in towards your chest, just wrapping your arms around the shins, a little sway from side to side. We're going to make our way into bridge pose next. Very common pose that you're going to see in most classes. We're going to bring those feet down so they're hip distance. And you're going to bring those hands down by your side. Now, when you're in bridge pose, you should be able to tickle your heels with your fingers. If they're kind of here and you can't reach, you need to bring those feet in a little bit closer. The often mistake is what I see in bridge pose is when we come up into it, your knees start to come out wide, which is going to put a lot of pressure on the external hip flexors. So you really need to think about drawing the thighs together and keeping those legs parallel. We're going to ground the palms down, push into the feet, start to squeeze into the glutes, and start to lift the pelvis all the way up. Another kind of common thing we see in bridge pose is overarching through the spine. You're trying to lengthen through the front body. So you're thinking about lifting those knees up in a diagonal. So you're pushing those knees away rather than trying to lift up out of the belly and find that overarching through the spine. Hold it here. Squeeze those inner thighs together for 4, 3, 2. Take the inhale. Exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly lower yourself down. Draw the knees back towards your chest. Little wrap around, little rock from side to side. And then we're going to move into our figure 4 from here, I think. So I'm going to bring those feet down, hip distance again. Lift that right leg up. You can take hold wherever feels comfortable, the thigh, the shin, the ankle. Just draw it in for a moment to stretch through that hamstring. Soften the shoulders down and away from the ears. And I'm going to move into our figure 4. So we're going to release the foot, cross that ankle over the top of the left knee, and open out through that right knee. So sometimes it's useful to take the right hand onto the thigh, just to really feel that opening. Engage through these right toes. You want to draw the toes up towards the knee, so you're engaging and flexing through the foot. Now you can stay here if this just feels enough, you've got really tight hip flexors, or we'll start to draw the knees towards our chest. Hands will interlace behind the thigh or the shin, depending on the space you have. And then we shift the weight slightly to the left to feel that stretch through the right hip. Hold it here. For 3. For 2. Gently release the grip, let that left foot come all the way down onto your mat. Open those arms out in line with your shoulders, palms face up. Now you have the option to uncross the leg here if this doesn't feel comfortable. Take a full breath in, and as you breathe out, just drop the knees to the right. If you want that modified version, you would just bring that right foot down next to the left and just drop the knees. And if you want to, and it feels comfortable in the neck, you can gaze towards that left thumb. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Deep inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Start to bring the head through center. Draw the knees through center. Extend that right leg up and then place it down. Taking that onto the side, extend that left leg. Cross the ankle, take hold, find the hamstring stretch. Gently release. Now cross the ankle over the top of the right knee. Use that left hand to encourage the hip to open. Draw the toes towards the knee so you're flexing through the ankle. Always the option to stay here if this feels enough, or start to lift the knees towards the chest, taking hold behind the shin or the right thigh, and then shift that weight this time slightly to the right. Gently release the grip, let that right foot find the mat. Open those arms out to a T. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, drop the knees to the left, take your gaze to that right, with that same option to uncross the ankle if you need to. Gently bring the head through centre, draw the knees through centre, extend that left leg up, and then slowly place it down next to the right. Bring the soles of the feet together here and let the knees drop wide into your laid Baddha Konasana, your laid butterfly, and then bring the left hand to your heart and the right hand to your belly. Start to feel the connection again with the breath and the stillness. Every inhale, feel the chest rise. With every exhale, feel the belly draw down towards the spine. Allowing the breath to be that anchor once again to your practice, to the stillness, and to the moment. You always have the option to stay here if you'd like to move into your traditional Shavasana shape. Extend the legs down to the bottom corners of your mat. Maybe release those hands by your sides, soften those shoulders down and away from the ears. Let all the efforts of your practice now integrate into this final moment of your practice. Let all the efforts now move into ease. Let all that energy you've just created make its way through the body and feel that gentle humming beneath the skin. Allow yourself this reward for your practice, the stillness after the movement. Probably the most important part of our practice is this, where everything now works together to become one. So can you allow yourself to stay present within it? Of course, you have the option to stay here for as long as you need. For the purpose of this video, we'll start to come back out, just slowly starting to make awareness through the fingers, the toes, the ankles, the wrists. Reach those hands up overhead, take a full body stretch. And then as you exhale, draw the knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around the shins, a little rock from side to side. Taking as long as you need to, just slowly make your way all the way up to seated, where I shall meet you there. Bring your hands up to your heart center, sitting tall through the spine. Take a full breath in, and a long breath out. From my practice to yours, I hope you found this video useful and that it helps you along your way to finding your way into your practice. Thank you all so much. Namaste.